Aaron, you spoke about last week about the boys letting you down. You're pretty candid. You're one of the more candid and sort of honest, not honest, but yeah, wear your heart on your sleeve kind of coach.
Yep.
In the TSL. How do you think they responded today?
I thought the response was fantastic. Yeah, look, we I think we had about 7 or 8 different changes this week from the side last week, so we brought in a little bit of experience. But yeah, the response from the effort that we had last week was tremendous.
I thought like you said, the effort was up. I definitely thought as well, in the couple of games where you haven't been as pleased, the run-off half-back sort of stagnated, relying a bit too much on Mitch Carter to drive the ball out or Tyler Carter to sort of bullock his way through. Like, how did you think the sort of defensive movement was today?
Oh, look, I thought our backline worked extremely well. I think we had the most handball receives we've had for the year. I think it was over 40 handball receives from our backline. So that was a real pleasing aspect of the game. We threw Ali Barras-Chang back on Pierce. Thought he'd done an exceptional job. I thought Tim Peterson we threw back to play Mitch Hills, and I thought he was exceptional today. I think it was the best TP he's probably played this year. And didn't really give Mitch Hills too much at all, which was fantastic. And look, when that it helped because we didn't have to rely on Mitch Carter so much this week. And Michael Booth's run off half back again was solid as well, and kept when Bowden was forward. I don't think Tyler had an influence on the game at all. Yeah.
You spoke about Ollie Burrows-Cheng. Obviously, you brought him in with Connor Bryant. Look, I mean, I've seen Burrows-Cheng before. Obviously, he debuted against the Magpies on Anzac Day and was good then. How do you think he sort of progressed as the game went on, and can you tell us a bit about Connor Bryant?
Yeah, look, Ollie Burrows-Cheng, look, we've missed a bit of. He probably would have been a consistent senior player, but he goes to school at Hutchins, and we miss a lot of him during school footy, and he's also in the 16 state side as well. So, look, he's been probably thrown about with different games this year, but look, yeah, hopefully after he'll have some 16 games to play. But he's a young kid with a lot of talent and a lot of upside. And, we usually have been playing him through the wings, but as he grows and gets older, he'll be a good addition to our midfield as well coming forward. And Connor Bryant, look, he was in the Mariners program over the thing, but had a foot injury, which kept him out for the first half of this year. He's played the last 3 games in the twos, and I think he's been in the best in the twos, so he earned his spot today, replaced Ethan Brock, who was probably a little bit down on form, and I thought Connor Bryant come in and played a role for us today and was dangerous and shows a bit of pace through our forward line.
Yeah, you guys, I noticed Toby Cohen didn't suit up, or I think it was Ben Graham as well. Any injury concerns with those boys at all? Yeah,
look, Toby Cohen he just had an issue that he probably wasn't right to come and play, and Ben Graham saw some soreness from a corky. He just didn't quite get up from last week, so they were a couple of late withdrawals. We gave them all the opportunity to play up until today, but yeah, obviously didn't quite get over the line.
Yeah. Any issue with Marcus Davies late? Looked to be limping a bit.
Just a cork. Just a cork. I thought it might have been his calf, but yeah, it looks like it's just a corky. So he should be. Given we've got the bye next week, he'll be right for next game against Saturday.
So the elephant in the room is probably Daniel Archer playing today. I thought he was sensational in the first term. Off the top of my head, he had 5 marks, kicked 1-1, and had 7 kicks. Huge influence, and I had to ask someone next to me who it was. What can you tell us about his inclusion?
Yeah, look, Daniel's he's a Kingston boy. He's played all his junior footy at Kingston. His dad's been involved with the footy club for 30 odd years and been the next development league coach here as well. And look, he'd gone to the mainland to play some footy, and obviously got drafted by St Kilda. And he had an opportunity came up. We've been trying to get hold of him for the last month or so. He didn't end up coming through to the 11th hour, and he became available. And being a Kingston boy, and the side welcomed him with open arms, given that he's just not a flying player, and he's signed for the rest of the year.
Fantastic. Okay, that was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
So obviously you guys probably brought 6 or 7 players in, some forced changes, some players like Ollie Burrows-Cheng becoming available, and obviously Archer. With your player mix, it seems you guys have blooded a lot of new people, but you're not quite doing the Devonport Bernie thing where they are just constantly playing these 16-year-olds regardless, week in, week out. What's sort of your view on the player mix from here on for the rest of the year?
Oh, look, we'll play guys that earn their spots. I mean, I think we've got a lot deeper list this year, so we could fall into the trap of just continuing to play them, but like we've stuck with some players. We'll continue to play. Look, Ollie Burrows-Cheng probably would have still stayed in the side if he hadn't have had school footy commitments. And look, And we're conscious of not keeping kids down either. And if they're down on form, it's you want to make sure they enjoy their footy as well. So some of them go back and really do well in the Mercury Cup, and then they get their opportunity again. So we'll continue to play players in form, but we've got a young group anyway, so we'll continue to. We're doing some good stuff with our development of our players.
Yeah. Obviously a huge turnaround today, but even the third quarter when they kicked 5, you guys are still quite competitive. You do have a tough run coming up. I believe you've got Lauderdale and Lonnie both away after the bye coming up.
Yep.
And then North Lonnie, obviously they're sort of 3 of the top 4 to 5 sides. Sort of what's your focus during the week off and then for that month of footy ahead?
Yeah, look, any game in the TSL these days is a tough side. Even when you've got to travel to West Park and play Burnie, every game you've got to take on its merit. And yeah, look, I thought our games against those Lauderdale, I thought we were in a winning position as well against North Lonnie. So we'll give ourselves an opportunity. We're probably pretty poor last time we played Launceston here, so we'll be looking to bounce back and account ourselves well when we travel up there. Look, we'll try and get the group to stay together for most part for the rest of the year, apart from a few 16s. So, given our numbers that we've had through the Mariners and school footy for the first half of the year, hopefully we get Hugh Dixon back at some stage after his Allies commitments, and he's another one you throw into our mix as well as a quality, talented young kid coming through the ranks.
Yeah, and do you think Brandon Batchelor's sort of working himself into a bit of form? Is he moving freely now, or still a bit impeded by that?
Yeah, look, we started getting through the midfield a bit more today. The first couple of rounds was merely just getting some runs into the legs, which he's got through. And look, it's just now we're starting to put him back through the midfield where he can be really dangerous as well. And I think he showed today that he has that burst, still has that bit of burst of speed and that bit of a presence when he goes on ball for us.
Ace, congratulations on the win, mate. What are your first thoughts sort of coming off the ground after that game today?
Yeah, look, funnily enough, I said to the group after the game, I'd like to go back to the tape for, really dissecting the game. So it was sort of a game of two halves from our point of view. I think we played really well in the third quarter and managed to give ourselves an opportunity to win the game. But first up, I think coming off the bye and having 2 byes in the month is certainly starting to show, and it did again against Liverpool as well.
You spoke about that third quarter. I thought after having the 2-point lead at half time, you guys were able to come out and I think have 11 shots on goal, 5 goals, 6. Is there anything you did differently or anything you said to the boys at half time? Anything they did differently in that third term?
No, I think it was early in the game, things weren't really going our way and the guys were trying a bit too hard and it wasn't coming naturally. But to a credit, the Kingston boys really got the ball moving forward. They beat us in the inside 50s and took some good marks. I think they were a bit inaccurate, which kept us in the game. And we were able to capitalise on that afterwards. And we beat them in the inside 50s and certainly got the ball out of the stoppage. And they were getting a bit of pattern of play happening, which was all right. But yeah, in the first part, they certainly brought the heat and they were a different outfit to last week, and credit to them.
You guys, I thought today it looks like your forward set up with Josh Watts up there and Butterworth and also Matt Joseph always coming through that midfield, a bit of a pest across half forward. Do you think now with a bit more games under sort of Butterworth and you got Watts up there that your forward line set up looks a bit more hard to predict, I guess, than sort of just relying on Jay?
Yeah, I think there was a few times there we had a mixture of guys. I think Tyler Bowden, Watts, Hills, Harrison Pearce, Timmy Butterworth, Jay, obviously, Mitch Rainbird. There's numerous amounts of guys that went through there, and obviously getting Zach back next week will be able to add that as well. So I think a bit of variety, and obviously let Jay get up the ground, and I think he had a fantastic game today. He had over 30 disposals and a very well-rounded game from Jay. So it wasn't relying on him to kick goals, and he had an impact elsewhere.
I thought you guys have probably got a few lesser names that seem to be moving the ball out of defence pretty well at times. I know the first half was pretty tight, but I thought that opened up. I thought, who did you think played well coming off half-back sort of defence for you guys down there?
Yeah, I thought Matty Dewar was tremendous off half-back, obviously a premiership player, and Josh Arnold, when he went back down there, was his voice and direction was really good. Jordan did a good job in the second half against Archer. I think he got a couple of marks late, but he was certainly on fire early, which gave us a bit of a problem. But other than that, there's been numerous amounts of guys and the ability of about 20 guys to play different roles, which has been great. So I think the more we play over the next month, that make sure we're solid, make the team solid, and make sure guys get continuity in where and when they play, and try and keep it in so we don't get too many injuries or blokes changing. Obviously, under 17 state footy is a bit different, but hopefully we get those guys back from injury and making sure that we lock down the positions and they play footy together.
Obviously, it's been pretty interrupted with the buys, and prior to the buys, you guys playing a lot of games across, I think it was something stupid like 3 in
10 days,
3 in 10 days. Do you think that sort of affected the way you guys were playing and recovering and that kind of stuff? And do you look forward now to a bit more of a routine, sort of 5-6 day breaks between games?
Yeah, look, we've had a very interesting start to the season. We did play a lot of games of footy and a lot of games at home, and the back end of the year we play a lot of games away. So, as you say, we're going to be week in, week out, and hopefully we do get into a routine. And as I say, keep the side together and not too many changes, and really set ourselves up for the back half of the year.
Is the focus now for you? Do you speak about finals, or do you speak about ladder positioning, or do you just try and get in that good routine of sort of playing the style of footy that you guys sort of have been working back towards playing, and that you definitely played in that third term today?
Yeah, look, I think it is a cliche, but for us now, just getting time in the legs and making sure that guys get used to playing with each other. We've got a few different faces, as I said. What's obviously forward and how our mix really works, and just making sure that we nut down our training and get everyone there, and really put in a consistent sort of month of footy before we worry too much about where we are in the ladder and sort of what the outcome of the season may be. But just playing some consistent footy, and hopefully it sets us up.